So I'm at a point where I don't know what to do. And I know I'm always on here talking about my opinions and giving advice, but I'm officially at a point where I don't know what to do. There are things I want to tell my man about the kids and what they say, but I'm scared that telling him what they say will just cause him more grief and guilt than I know that he already has. And after I went to see him yesterday when I got off of work to take him the donuts, and I saw his face, he was not himself. His face was pale, and normally he has really rosy cheeks and bright eyes, but his face was pale and he had dark circles that were so prominent, and his eyes didn't even really look like they were open. They were just really red and bloodshot, and I could see the exhaustion on his face. And I want to tell him how much we miss him and how much it's impacting us, but I couldn't do it. And I still don't really know how, and I know he's going to see this video, but the kids are asking questions and saying things, and the last thing I want to do is make him feel guilty or be more burdened. For example, the other day, I picked up my daughter from daycare after I got off work, and we called her dad, like I always try to do. And when we got off the phone with him in the truck before we got home, she just started crying. She said, "I miss my daddy." And then she's always talking about him, and I guess she was talking to a couple of the little other 6-year-old boys at school and telling them what her daddy did. She said, "I told whatever the kid's name was that my daddy builds roads." And the other little boy said, "Wow, that's really important. We really need better roads." And she said, "Yeah, I know, he's really important." Sorry, trying to gather myself. And then, his stepson, my son, asks me about every day, "Is Dad coming home tonight? Or is Mitchell coming home tonight?" He calls him Dad sometimes. And I have to say no. And he's like, "Oh, well, tell him I miss him." And yesterday I picked up my daughter from school. And in the truck, she was telling me that she had to tell one of her little girlfriends at her daycare. She asked them, she said, "Mommy, I had to tell them, please don't talk about your daddies, because I really miss mine." And that just broke me. I know that there are people out there that have it way worse than we do. Please, God, don't think that I know that. But it's hard being strong all the time. And it's hard trying to know how to comfort your kids and how to communicate with your spouse without making the situation worse. And when I saw him yesterday, the last thing I wanted to do was make him feel worse than he already did, because that is his health and safety that I have to think about. And I couldn't even tell my daughter and my son that I went to see him after work because I only had 30 minutes before I had to be home in time to pick them up. I didn't have the heart to tell him that I got to see him, even though it was only for a minute and that Daddy was really tired. I didn't have the heart to tell him because they wanted to see him too. So I'm going to have to figure something out, whether it's they're postponing their bedtime and they're just going to go to bed late tonight and we go see him. I don't know. I don't know what to do, but kudos to all y'all who do this on a regular basis, because this shit sucks.